What's up with the YouTube fam? I'm back again with another video. Listen, a lot of y'all been hitting me up, asking me to do videos over this whole situation, and y'all been asking me to do reaction videos over the whole situation. You know, the body cam footage, and that's just something I'm not gonna do. You know, his mother has to relive this every day, and I don't want to have that type of energy over here on my platform. You know, that's just how I feel about it. And I mean, even though YouTube might not allow it as well, it's certain ways you can get it posted, but you know, just me having integrity and knowing that the family has to relive this every day, I'm not doing that, you feel me? So I hope y'all respect that. But man, you know, I'm gonna tell y'all what I feel about this. You know, it's just a sad situation. And before I even do that, let me say RP to this young man, and let me say my condolences to his family as well, especially his mother, to actually have to watch your child, you know, someone you gave birth, go through what he went through. I know it's got to be a hard thing to deal with, and it's very traumatic, and it's going to be very detrimental to certain things in her life as well. But hey, you know, she's standing firm from what I've seen, and I do actually have video footage of her speaking as well. But before we get into this, I want y'all to hear this audio real quick of what these police officers, these ex-police officers, were saying, and it's sickening. Here go the audio right here.
I hit that man so many pieces in his head. Oh, shit, bro. I hit it. You know what they want? Hold on, let me watch it. Man, I was hitting him with spray haymakers, dog. Come on, man. I'm rocking him, though. He was rocking that shit. Like, you know what? Baby was rocking. I jump in and start rocking. What the fuck? Man, I'm telling you, bro. I'm like, bro, what the fuck? I'm like this. They need to give me some saline.
He needs some saline. Okay, now y'all heard what he was saying. He was hitting with haymakers, and you know, they really were just making a joke out of this whole situation, which is very despicable in my opinion. You know, it felt like this was personal, and I did hear people saying this, and I mean, I got my own opinions, but I really can side with them on that. It seemed like it was just a little bit too personal. And just for us to actually witness the way we get treated, you know, and I'm not one of them channels that's acting like, you know, super black this and that, and you know, this and this and that. I ride for my people, but I'm also keep it 100. We fuck up sometimes as well, but you know, the way that they supposed to be governing the people, you know, police officers, officials and things like that, they supposed to be able to conduct themselves a whole nother way. This right here is just unacceptable in every way, shape, form, and fashion. That's just how I feel about it. To actually know the way that young black men are being treated in America, and to actually do them worse, this shit sad, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, how can you actually laugh about it and actually put your hands on somebody to the point where they lost their life? Like, y'all can't be that angry in the inside. You know what I'm saying? And I know some people gonna say fathers are needed and things like that. We don't know how they were raised. Sometimes, man, you can be an adult and just make your own decisions. You can't blame it on the parents and all the other type of shit sometimes, man, you know. But his mother is very, very sad, and it really touched me to hear some of the things that she was saying. And I'm just thinking about, like, what she have to witness and look at. Like, you know, I'm pretty sure she watched the whole thing. If she didn't, I can respect it. But, you know, with that being your child, with that being your baby, with that being somebody that you raised, you're going to want to watch that. You know what I'm saying? You're going to want to sit down and check it out and look at it in totality, because you're finna have to go to court with these people. So you're going to want to do certain things and make sure certain things can be presented on your behalf in a proper way. You want to go in there with your ducks in a row, because, you know, in instances like these, they don't give a damn about young black people passing away. You know what I'm saying? But I'm glad that we're catching a lot of things on camera as well, because, you know, without things being on camera, we wouldn't know what's really going on. We know there's going to be some injustices and things like that taking place over the world, but overall, for the most part, we wouldn't know. But let's go ahead and get into this other video that I do have. You know, it's a couple of clips that I found on I forgot what website it was on, but shit, you know, all that don't matter. But before we get into this, let me say this one more time. My condolences to the family, and if the mother watches this video or anybody that's in this family, I feel sorry for y'all. I hate that happen to y'all. And it's crazy that these young black men can watch all these young other black men get their life taken and actually be the one who takes someone else's life, you know? Now, I know some of y'all probably came here strictly for the video. You know what I'm saying? Hey, y'all can skip to it, but I know a lot of y'all want to hear my opinion. I might stop it here and there and talk during this video as well. I ain't even gonna do my intro because these are very, very serious topics, but Y'all know what y'all can do if y'all don't want to hear me talking. And to all my supporters, man, I appreciate y'all. Y'all make sure I hit that like button for me. And tell me what y'all feel about this in the comment section. We're going to be talking about this for real. We can laugh and joke and talk about everything else every other day. Ain't no way in hell I can't bring something like this to the platform. No matter if YouTube press it and push it out to the public or not, my core audience going to be here, and that's what I'm here for. You know what I'm saying? Let's get into it, though.
You know, regrettably, it reminded us of Rodney King video.
Man. And for your own people to do you like that, man, it's crazy.
Regrettably. And unlike Rodney King, Tyre didn't survive. And so we are here to demand justice for Tyre.
Let me say this about Tyre, about what we saw in that video. We're here not to talk about what a great boy he was and what a good son he was to his mother. But let me tell you what he was in that video.
A great man.
He was defenseless the entire time. He was a human pinata for those police officers.
It has to stop.
The calls for changes are sounding across Memphis after the death of Tyre Nichols.
All I know is my son Tyre is not here with me anymore.
A reality for Nichols' family after the 29-year-old 3 days after being beaten by Memphis police officers during a traffic stop.
We will see what they did to Tyre.
Civil rights attorney Ben Crump, who represents the family, says Nichols highlights issues within law enforcement. All of the officers fired for their involvement are African American.
But until we see the video, new radio traffic from Broadcastify obtained by WREG gives us more insight into the moments surrounding the alleged beating.
Run that tag and see what the address is.
At Ross and Castlegate Lane, he's fighting at this time.
Okay, so was the Florida as well.
I heard this police, look at y'all from the East Range and Ross. We have officers on scene. They sprayed a person.
Cassidy and Clear Creek. 55 just made the scene over here with me. If you're able to, bring the suspect over here. Hey, 29 brothers, we got a request.
Now the Scorpion car pull over to East Range and Ross. You have one running on foot.
Cornell McKitty says the same Scorpion unit stopped him January 3rd, 4 days before Nichols was pulled over.
I actually read it on the back of their vest. It said MPD Scorpion unit. All I heard is freeze, get out the car. Put your MF hands up before I blow your heads off. Both of you, get out the car. So put your hands up. So I put my hands up, and one of the officers proceeded to come to the car, and he physically pulled me out by my shoulder with a gun no more than a foot away from my head. I said, man, I just went across the street to get a pizza, and I'm on my way back to the house. He's like, well, who finna wrap it is pound? I said, well, can we call my lawyer? And the officers, he yelled out, well, this ain't court, this ain't a time for lawyer. I was like, man, I just came to get a pizza. So he was like, man, we just playing, it ain't a pound in a car. And he let me walk off.
Memphis police confirmed the officers violated multiple department policies, including use of force, duty to intervene, and failure to render aid. Sanders, who was trained in law enforcement back in '89 and has worked as an investigator, says new policies need close training.
Intervene thing that was not popular when they say your failure to intervene or failure to render aid. That was not popular in law enforcement before the George Floyd incident. So a lot of departments now are picking up policies and they're training people in that. So it's new.
I asked, will the officers be charged?
I think most of them will, but I can't say without a shadow of a doubt because only when it hits the courtroom is who can tell the best story. The prosecutor or the defense attorney to make the jury believe.
He said,
and you know, it's so sad that it's even like that. Like, you know, what you see is what you get. Why try to make something seem like it ain't what it is? You know, it's right here. We all see this. I mean, it's right here literally in our faces now. Some of these clips came out before the video came out, so that's why it's a different tone in these videos right here. But, you know, as you can see now, it's a public uproar right now about this whole situation, you know. But it's just crazy that no matter what, you got to go through a full process. I feel like some things should just be open and shut. It shouldn't be nothing to talk about. Like, we seen it, you know. And I'm not laughing. It just made me chuckle just to think about how much BS it is out here in the world, no matter what you do. Now, if the shoe was on the other foot, it wouldn't be nothing to talk about, you know, if he actually did that to them. But, you know, he seemed like he was a good-hearted person. You know what I'm saying? You can just pick up on some people's energies just by their pictures. Just certain things about them can let you know how they really are, you know. I mean, we might not be just 100% accurate, but, you know, we'll get a pretty good feel of them. And the stuff I've been seeing him do and say and pictures of and stuff like that, man, he real good people, you know. That's just how I feel about that. But, yeah, man, it's just sad that you got to even question where this is going to go, you know. Let's get back into it, though.
The case will likely end up being a civil one.
It has no necessary meaning. He has to be white or the cop has to be black in order to violate someone's rights. So it probably will end up being that way, and it may end up being a federal trial.
Right, that autopsy, Don, was done by the request of the family. The family did their own independent autopsy, and what they found, according to their attorney, Ben Crump, was that Tyre Nichols died from severe bleeding as a result of a beating. Now, Don, I want to take you out here to the scene. This is where it all started. This is the intersection that police say that Tyre Nichols was first stopped by police, and then he ran. There was a pursuit along this road here, all the way just about under a mile near where his mother lives, and that is where ultimately he would die. Where investigators say police wind up catching up to him, and then something happened. And according to the family, which has viewed body camera footage, they say that he was beaten in that location, ultimately was taken to the hospital where he died. Most of what we know about what happened here is not coming from the police. They have refused to release any information, basic questions to the police about, were these officers in uniform? What time exactly was Tyre Nichols taken to the hospital? All those questions have remained unanswered by the police. As we know, 5 officers were fired, 2 EMTs here were placed on leave as a result of this incident. And now we wait for the district attorney to make his decision on whether or not he's going to pursue charges. And of course, ultimately, that video, the body camera footage and other footage that police have.
Memphis police pulled Tyre Nichols over on January 7th for reckless driving. They said when they approached him, there was a confrontation and he ran away. Police said when they caught up to him and tried to arrest him, there was a second confrontation. They said Nichols complained of shortness of breath and was taken to the hospital. That's where his father took this photo. It shows Nichols bloodied and bruised.
I don't know if one of them didn't like what he said. Was it an ego thing? I don't know. All I know is they beat the dog out of my son, and he's dead. You know, I just lost my child. I've had to stay strong for his other siblings.
And your mother.
And my mother. And then when I walked in that room and I sat there and I heard my son's voice, because that's going to be the last time that I hear my son's voice.
Damn.
And that just did something to me. And I just had to get out. I had to get up and I had to walk out.
I had to see how horrific it was.
Man.
When I took the picture of him in the hospital. And when you make it bigger and you see all the knots and his eyes are swollen, the neck is
splitting open.
His wrists were from the handcuffs. When you see all of this stuff in the hospital, and then I had to see the tape.
For it to be 5 black officers, yes, it makes it even harder to swallow.
Yes.
Because they were black and they know what we have to go through being black already.
He didn't deserve that.
No, not at all.
That was the most troubling part about it. It was just so brutal.
Justice for Tyre! Justice for Tyre!
Before these chants,
Justice for Tyre! Justice for Tyre!
a now former inmate at the Shelby County Corrections Center claims he too was beaten by the same officer now fired following the death of Tyre Nichols. The case goes back to 2016, when he filed a federal lawsuit against Demetrius Haley, who worked at the corrections center. The handwritten lawsuit claims officers came in for a random search after believing they saw smoke coming from the area. The man alleged he was strip searched in a restroom by Haley and another officer while a sergeant supervised. He claims the officers told him he tried to flush contraband, going on to say Haley and another officer punched him in the face, at one point saying the other officer picked him up and slammed him face first into a sink, then to the floor. After that, he passed out, waking up in a medical unit. In 2018, a judge dismissed the case, citing failures by the plaintiff, not submitting necessary information when requested.
We have been in constant, very constructive communication with the Shelby County District Attorney, as well as state and local law enforcement agencies about this case. I'm thankful for that, and I expect that will continue. Finally, I know there is significant public interest in the release of the video that was shown to Mr. Nichols' family. The state and local authorities have responsibility for determining when to release video from this incident to the public. What I will say on behalf of the federal authorities is we want people to express their right to be heard, but we want them to do so in a peaceful and nonviolent way. I'll close by saying that I grew up in this city, and I care deeply about this city. I want this city to be a place where justice is done.
There have been growing demands by his family for police to release video of the incident. The family was shown the video on Monday, and their attorney called it violent and appalling. Today, the top prosecutor in Memphis, who is investigating it, says the public may not see it until next week, but he did say the video is difficult to watch.
Well, it's difficult to watch. Just human compassion alone. If you're a parent and you think about, if that happened to my child, it makes your heart go out to the family of Tyre Nichols.
5 Memphis officers have been fired for their involvement in the traffic stop that led to Nichols' arrest.
Now, this situation right here, man, is very touchy. And I mean, it's going to stay touchy forever because, the rate that people are passing away and the way that they are passing away, it just sticks for so long. It just don't go. It don't shake. Man, you see they bringing up Rodney King and things like that, man. That shit is deep. It runs deep. I mean, from years ago. Like, yeah, we can go move forward a little bit, but, it's something, like they say, history repeats itself, But, I just hate that his mother got to go through something like that. I hate he had to go. Forget that. Well, I mean, not forget that, but y'all know what I'm saying. I hate that he had to even go through anything like that. It's so much unexplained, misplaced anger. Like, come on now. Like I always say, man, we're in a spiritual warfare. True enough, but some shit be deeper than that too as well, man. These people be having demon-like entities possessing them and shit. It be something, man, now don't get me wrong. People know what they doing as well now, but something got to be taking over you for you to have that much anger and so much, hatred towards someone. That's just how I feel about it, man. But yeah, man, I want to know what y'all feel about everything in the comment section. I ain't even watched this, so we finna run this real quick too. I'm gonna let y'all hear this little audio. Hold on real quick, my bad, y'all. Some of y'all already know some of this stuff, some of y'all don't, but I'm still finna run it.
Nation are preparing for possible protests tomorrow night. That's when Memphis police plan to release the police body cam footage showing the death of Tyre Nichols. Michelle Medina has details on charges filed against the officers involved.
5 fired Memphis police officers are now facing second-degree murder and other charges for the death of Tyre Nichols.
While each of the 5 individuals played a different role in the incident in question, the actions of all of them resulted in the death of Tyre Nichols, and they are all responsible.
Nichols died on January 10th, 3 days after he was pulled over near his home, allegedly for reckless driving.
At Rose and Castlegate Lane, he's fighting at this time.
So yeah, we know basically all of that information right there. But what's so crazy about this whole situation, man? They did that to that young man, and they're not even realizing that it's a play finna be ran on them as well, I mean, shit, they thinking they finna get away with it because they was a part of the police force and things like that, but they didn't realize that this could make a lot of noise. You know, first of all, they didn't even know he was gonna pass from it. You know, they thought they was just gonna keep on doing what they do, and they just get swept up under the rug. But they gonna make a way to you know, charge these men and kind of give them something a little bit worse than what they done gave everybody else. Just for the simple fact of them being black, in my opinion. It's just all opinion based. Everything I said in this video is opinion based. I'm just giving y'all my thoughts and opinions on this situation. But, you know, I feel like they're going to make a way to show them that, you know, you can't do what you want to do either just because you're one of us. You know what I'm saying? We're going to make a way for you as well. And it ain't just got to be the police force. It can be government officials, other people that can pull strings as well. You know what I'm saying? But I do want to know what y'all feel about everything in the comment section. I didn't expect this video to be that long, but it was pretty touchy, and a lot of y'all been asking me to speak about it. So why not take the time out and, you know, really give y'all my thoughts and opinions on certain things. You know, normally half of the time I say certain things or I drop certain videos, and y'all hear me speak for just a little brief minute. But you know, so much more I want to say, but I never get a chance to say it because, you know, these videos got you know, a little time frame. You gotta fit everything into them. So, you know, it is what it is. But my core supporting audience, they gonna be there for me. So that's what I really do appreciate it. And I'm glad y'all made it to the end. I know some of y'all that's really, really rocking with me. Some loyal supporters made it here, and that's what's up. I appreciate y'all. But I want to know what y'all feel about everything in the comment section. Y'all like, comment, subscribe if you like my commentary. And man, my condolences go to the family one more time. R.I.P. to this young man. And I hope that the mother can continue to be strong. I know it's easier said than done, but you got it though. You feel me? You got it. Just hold on. And I know me saying you got it ain't gonna make nothing better, but you know, I just feel like you got it. But all right, then I'll holler at y'all later. All right.